Introduce you guys to Andre Iguodala over here. Come on, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. My brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome. Y'all hear him? How's it sound, y'all?
Blocked by James.
Oh, stop. See?
No, I'm reading.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Is there such thing as too much love, you think?
No,
Okay.
not to us.
That. Yeah, that's
Not
what
at
I'm
our
saying.
level.
Yeah.
Not at our level.
But I'll break down that. Break that down a little bit. What do you mean at our level? Like when we get to the threshold of mastery, when you become a master of the craft and you're at the NBA level, what do you mean we break that down a little bit so the viewers at home can understand what that's like?
So I had a conversation with a guy, and I was explaining, like, you guys have no idea how good Kyrie Irving is. Like, you can't even fathom. Like, y'all know how good he is, but y'all don't know. And he said something to me I never thought of. He said, that's a good point, because for some reason, all you NBA players think that he's like one of the greatest of all time.
I appreciate it.
Voila. Like, that's what that really means, And when you talk about, like, when guys talk about how hard it is to guard Steph, like, people can't fathom how hard it is. And I just saw, what's my guy? I'm drawing a blank on his name. I hate forgetting guys' names. I got to remember everybody's name now. AC from Oklahoma City. Caruso.
Yes.
So Caruso was playing pickup, and it didn't even look fair. And
I think I know the clip you're talking about.
Yeah, somebody was like, man, this is just like, people don't realize how good NBA players are.
Yes.
So they see them. And me, Caruso and I, like, on the same level. Like, we not even on y'all level, but it's like, imagine how good they are.
Stop. See, this is what I don't like you doing this.
I was good at defense.
I don't like you doing this. No,
but there's
the highlights that I studied growing up.
There's a difference, though.
Yes, there is a difference. But I'm saying in terms of the greatness, or how I look at the greatness, is you guys are able to be Swiss Army knives. You're able to take your skill set, work on a certain skill set, and then become a master at that. That works well for the team. There aren't too many of those out there where you do it on both ends of the floor, and then they also offer something to the offensive end that's special. It's a skill set that allows the team to function at a high level. You know what I mean? I break it down in those nerd terms, but
like Sean Livingston and I grew up together.
Yes,
he's like.
That was crazy that you guys were all on the team, though.
He's 45 minutes from me, where I'm from. So when I was like 12,
that's crazy, bro.
I was 11, 12, and we were playing against this Peoria team, and this point guard was Cole, and he was probably the best player at the tournament. Yeah. And they were like, "Yo, he's 2 years younger than y'all." We were like, "Yo."
Oh man.
Yeah, he shook us a little bit.
Imagine.
So now we saw him in like every 2-3 weeks we would see him in tournaments, and it was like, now we following each other, and then they were like a big brother to us. They used to beat up on us a lot historically through the decades of just hoops.
Okay.
And so by the time I got to my senior year, we got our payback, and then then he was Magic Johnson. I had 2 years on him, and then they won 2 state championships 2 years in a row. But we were both point guards.
Yeah.
And so you
started off your career as a point guard.
Yeah, I was a point guard.
Okay.
I grew 5, 6 inches after my freshman year of high school.
How did that feel? How was that growth spurt in that summer? When you were dressing in a certain size, and then all of a sudden
it happened when like 1 month.
Sprouted up 6 months. Wait, 6 inches in 1 month.
I don't know if it was a month. I just know, like, I was hooping. I didn't play varsity until my junior year of high school.
So do you think that's like alien-like? That growth spurt that certain pros have at like a certain stage? Because I didn't obviously have a 6-inch growth spurt, but I was 5'2" at one point. I go to 5'6".
Well, I mean,
5'7". Then
it happened in the summer though. So you playing in
Were
shorts.
you eating something different?
You playing in shorts every day.
We need to know your secrets, Andre. Like, how did you grow to become 6'9"?
Well, my son just did the same thing.
What are you feeding him? We need to know we need to know what were you eating?
Genetics. He's 6'8".
Oh, okay, genetics. We're gonna go.
He's 175. He's 6'8".
Shout out to little brother. Shout out to little brother.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he got to gain 40 pounds.
That's true.
But you don't know until you go school shopping. And it's like, I need to buy some new clothes. You're going to buy new clothes for every school year. And it's like, I need some new pants. And then you just try on some pants, like, these fit, these don't fit.
You just start, your competition is here, and then you get a little taller. Your stride and your sprints get a little longer. They get a little more elongated. You start doing little drills that no one else is doing. Now you start waking up a little earlier. It's so like the talent in the DNA, once it mixes, that's what I would like to discuss. Because when we're pros, when we become pros, I felt like I was a pro at 16.
No, you were a pro before. Well, how old were you when I first saw you? I saw you when you were 16, 17.
17.
Yeah, you were a pro.
Yeah, I felt that's when I felt like I was a pro.
You were a pro. It took me a little longer to understand. So that's a good question, actually. I didn't know I grew that tall until I got to school
with everyone else,
and everybody started looking at me. Like I had teachers like, Andre, I'm like, what? Everybody looking at me. I'm like, why y'all looking at me? And then this varsity basketball coach, he didn't really speak too many words to me. I mean, he knew I could play, but I wasn't a varsity player yet. I just dressed. And then he was like, hey, Andre, come here. He grabbed me. He was like, come here in my office. I'm like, why everybody looking at me? And then he put me against the wall. He's like, you're 6'4". Yeah. And then I was just 5'10" when we left school the last year.
So was that hard putting that in your book? Like being that vulnerable and or what did you feel like it was exposing more of a...
That was the motivation.
Okay.
So that ended up being my motivation, where it was always somebody from a different race telling me I can only go so far. And so each step of the way, I'm like, I can't, like even to this day, I'm like, yeah. Like I wake up every morning with a purpose.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? And everything's rooted in our traumas. I mean, you talk about that a lot. Like people don't understand like what athletes go through. They always say, how does this happen? You're a professional athlete. How does that happen? You're a professional athlete. I would do this. I would do that. No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't do what it takes to be a professional athlete. Yeah. So we're just in two different worlds, and people don't get the proper perspective. And I'm reading a really good book right now. I've been wanting to mention this. I just started it, Psychology of Money. Okay. It's really, really good, and it's a really quick read. But it's basically telling you like you can't judge someone else's decision making because you don't know what they've gone through. Environment that put them where they're at to even make that decision. Sure. And that put a lot of things in perspective, even for me, because I can't expect every athlete to think like me. I can only try to help them, get to a place mentally, emotionally, physically, that's like a safe space for them. So like SportsCenter was rolling 4 times a day. Like I'm watching all 4 reruns of SportsCenter. So, but my mother was 6 foot tall. She is 6 foot tall. Okay. I'm afraid of her. Right.
She looks like a giant.
And she had hands. Yeah. Right. So like I didn't get in trouble. I knew to stay out of trouble. Yeah. And then I was super competitive in everything, including school.
Was that brother to brother or family environment?
My mom made us read. So like we read the newspaper every day. And so it was like my dream was to be on the sports section, front page in high school, right? So like that was a dream. Like,
by the way, that's probably gonna age us in the chat. They don't know at home in terms of when you used to play well, and then wait for the newspaper to come out the next day, and then your family used to cut out the news clippings and be able to put in a nice laminated book for you at the end of the year.
We're aging ourselves.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like I'm.
Yeah, that's crazy that they don't have that.
The news clippings, like you really getting your name in the newspaper. Iguodala seals the win, delivers in the crunch time. Like that was cool. And then the pen and paper with the recorder after games. Yeah. Hey, so how do you think you did today?
They scribbling.
Writing down everything, scribbling, little nerves going on, anxiety through.
Tape recorders.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So the news would come on.
Yes.
I would rush home after the game, pop the tape in, and then press record in the sports section.
That sounds crazy right now.
Now you just screen grab it. Or you can just save the video.
Or have a multi-view of every video.
Right.
If you had any advice to give to your 11-year-old self, what would you tell your 11-year-old self?
Figure out a way to get to the golf course or the golf range. Figure that out. Because
This sounds like the itch that everybody talks about.
I don't know if I would want to go pro, because you got to be different. Like you got to have money. You got to have a lot of money to be pro in golf, right? Yeah. But I would love to have my swing built in at a young age, and it helps you in basketball. It helps you forget. Like you'll have a clay brain. Clay brain is like Clay don't know he 0 for 11. He just know the next 11 shots going in.
That's how you guys describe Clay being.
That's Clay. Like we say, never change Clay.
Never change.
Like Clay's best games, he missed or was late to practice the day before. He talks about.
I've heard stories about that.
He be like, my best games, I was late. I didn't come to practice. Like, so I shouldn't have to come to practice. Yeah. Like, that's my brother.
Gosh. Did you ever have superstitions at a young age? Were you ever very superstitious where you had to wear the same socks or you wore the same shorts or?
Yeah, we had. Obviously Michael Jordan wore his North Carolina shorts under his shorts, so we had our own version of whatever that was, like some raggedy shorts. But we used to wear like 3 pairs of socks. different colors, like the white with the whatever symbol it was you wore, and then you had a black, then you had a white. And so we were big into that. Or Kerry Kittles. Yeah, one high sock, one low sock. Now we getting each on our age.
But I love Kerry Kittles. I grew up watching Kerry Kittles.
Kerry Kittles was cold.
Yes.
I ran into Detlef Shrimp last night.
Oh, around the
at the hotel, and I was like, Detlef, people have no idea. Like back in the day, and this is no knock.
Yeah, no,
knock on our game, but back in the day, you could not have a weakness. Every part of your game had to be perfection. Like now, you can have a hole in your game.
It's specialist driven,
but you can still get on the court.
For sure.
It's like, all right, we know how to hide you. We switch everything. We know how to load up.
Yeah.
We can play zone.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
but that's an interesting perspective. I haven't heard it like that, Bo. Like that in terms of you felt like back a few years prior that the generation you were part of that was involved in the league and in the 2000s or even the 1990s, was it really built on skill first in all categories? Like obviously toughness played a role, conditioning played a role, but skill first in a lot of different categories. How was that? That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's how I'm interpreting it. Is you're saying that today's world very specialist driven. You could pretty much hide.
If you shoot 40% from three,
oh yeah, you
gonna play.
Yeah, facts.
Back, I felt like Steve Kerr, like I will always say Steve Kerr, I found an exception to this statement. But Steve Kerr did not miss an open shot. Like back then when you were like your job, like you perfected your job, like Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, like they would make 10-footers all day long.
Facts.
Like or they would make their hook shots.
Yeah.
Or they were boxing out. They getting every rebound. I was like, guards, don't come down here.
Yeah.
It's my job.
That's
like,
true.
And then there was no room for growth. It was like you gonna grow and mature in your game through practice.
Yeah.
Like we not experimenting, you getting better. Like there was no tanking.
Oh, are you talking about in terms of
like if you lost, it's because you just got your ass whooped every single night. But it wasn't like, all right, we're gonna try to lose tonight so we can get a good pick. It was like, no, it was the players. It's different now because the players aren't pushing this agenda. It's more so from the front office.
How much of it was built on fear?
I think it was
like team pride and
player pride. Like, nah, man. Like if we lose, that means I'm gonna be out of a job. If we lose, I ain't gonna have a job. They'll have somebody replace me because they don't want to lose. Now it's like, all right, let's trust the process. We got 10 years to get better.
Okay.
And this isn't a players thing because you'll see players like, yo, I want to play tonight. It's like, nah. Or I noticed there was one team this year was like they could have made the playoffs or they had a chance.
They made a push.
And some guys' minutes didn't look like they were supposed to look. And those guys were actually upset, like, yo, man, what we doing?
Oof.
And so I feel like that's the difference. And so a lot of
so that gets talked about.
Players get knocked for that, but it's not. The players aren't the ones making the decision. It was also because players are taking a lot of bumps and bruises with however people interpret the system. Second April, fine, right? There's some really good. There's some things that unintended consequences. So load management. And it's always like narratives. So a narrative can get wrapped up and the blame can get placed in certain areas. And I'm like, whoa, you got to think about where this came from. Load management came from the Spurs.
I remember that.
Because they kept going to the finals every year. And so before you know it, you go to the conference finals 4 years in a row, you added an extra season on those 4. You played 5 seasons in 4 years.
Yeah.
So load management makes sense. Because you're going making these deep runs every year and your core players are getting older and they're taking more of a trauma and more load on their bodies. Load management makes sense.
But we weren't doing that as much research back then on.
But like no one knew what load management was because Spurs were really the only ones doing it.
Okay.
Because they had Tim Duncan, they had Ginobili, and they had Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Right? So and then Duncan's, year 13, 14, 15, 16 is like, yo, his body can't take the same beating as it did when he was younger. So load management makes sense. And so now we come into the fold. We go to the finals 5 years in a row, 6 years in a row. And we're on the NBA road show where
you guys
we're the Heatles did it. They were the road show. Like we're the road show. So our schedule was actually not normal.
Later games.
When I played in Philly, I knew before the year started like what our season was gonna look like. All right, we're going west right after Christmas. Then we go west after All-Star break, like in early March. Like your schedule. But when you're the show, like you'll do like a 4-game East Coast, like you do 3 East Coast trips as opposed to 2 East Coast trips. And then you'll come back home and play 1 game. Then you'll fly all the way to Minnesota for 1 game.
Yeah.
It's just like, now you're starting like, okay, I'm learning how the business works.
Yeah.
And we're playing 6-7 seasons in 5 years. Load management makes sense. Now the problem, what happened was all these other teams are looking at analytics and like, all right, our guys need the rest. Our guys need, this is like, y'all never made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You get bounced in the first round. You don't need load management. And so the term just got thrown around, and then now you have the narrative that players don't want to play. And then now you're building in rules in the CBA like, all right, 65 game minimum. I'm a purist of basketball, so I'm not saying the league is wrong about 65 games, because where I grew up, Michael Jordan went to the finals every year.
And he played 82
games.
Quite a few times.
Just me as a purist, I'm like, yo, 82 games is what separates us from the 24-hour fitness gurus.
True.
Because all of them think they can play in the league. It's like, nah, you don't. Like, this is a different world.
Hey, by the way, Dre had to just get that off his chest. Shout out to all y'all that's at like fitness trying to get better.
But that's what growing the game. Growing the game is getting more people to play.
Yes,
so I love the 24-hour fitness guys. But there is a difference.
Yes, there is.
You know, it's iSpeed, show speed, the streamer. Love him to death. But he can't touch Kyrie Richardson.
No.
It's a difference.
No, there is a difference.
But I love that he's really into being fit. He's really into.
Yes, but he has been taking names though. He has been taking names, a few names.
But he can't.
I'm just saying he has been taking a few names. The younger generation is going after champions. We get mad at that. The fact that he has the social capital, right? He gets to challenge people like that. He gets to cut the line and be like, yo, let me challenge you and see if I'm fast.
Because it's like, okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Break this down for me.
Come on.
How do you break down fast versus quick point guards in the league? Because like, what's John Wall?
Yeah.
What's Derrick Rose?
We're in a generation where shifty is now a word. Fast and quick is shifty. When you can work on those gears and go, I'm just as fast, or maybe not as fast, but if I get a full head of steam, I feel like I'm faster than anyone. But if you throw a ball in my hands, I feel like I'm a lot faster than someone that, not saying running without the ball, I'm saying if you put it in comparison with the basketball, I feel like I'm faster than most. But if we just do a dead-on sprint, I probably won't be up there. But if you do quickness, first step, getting around guys, seeing them in transition, and then being able to miss time, and then I somehow beat you to the rim because of my quickness, yes. But now shifty is, how do I go east-west and still keep and maintain the speed? That's what I feel like separates me, is I'm able to maintain that 15 miles per hour to 22 miles per hour while the ball is still simultaneously moving. There's a few guys in the league that do that, but there's a very special group that's able to do it efficiently. So that's how I describe like fast, shifty, quick.
But I think there's 3 different things. Some people have 2, some people have 1, some people have all 3. But like, okay, another question for you.
John Wall is fast.
John Wall was fast.
Derrick Rose was fast, but he was also quick and athletically explosive.
Yeah, he was scary.
So you could even throw explosion in there.
Yeah.
Ja is explosive, but he is wiry.
Man,
he's wiry. He's like in the air, wiry strength. And then you have Trae Young, who is quick, but very shifty.
Yeah.
And then also can take you out all the way to that 3-point line. And then you have Steph, who may do some Harlem Globetrotter type shit, dribble on the floor. Like our games, in terms of just the reaction, the quick,
you're not the most
instinctual.
Explosive, you're not the fastest, you're not the quickest, but y'all the best.
Yes, but we throw a crazy floater up, and it goes crazy. Then you have Dame, who is more brute strength, kind of bully you into 60. You know, so going against these guys are like, when I play against them, or I played against them throughout my years, I've learned how to adjust my game to be able to find the weaknesses. They find the weaknesses with me, I find the weaknesses them, and then I kind of shift back and forth between all 3 of those. If I'm going against Steph, I may have to use my quickness a little bit more, or my shiftiness, or if I'm going against Trae, I may have to use my strength a little bit more, take him down to the post, or kind of come off screens and run him around. And Steph would run me around, right? And just we play these mental games. And now you throw Anthony Edwards in there, who's doubling as a point guard shooting guard, and now you have Shea, who's a point guard shooting guard. I went on stream the other day, or 3 weeks ago, and I said, Shea is going to be the prototypical guard now, where 6'6" is like, yep, that's the NBA point guard right there.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm adjusting to it. Where it's like as a 6'2", 6'3" guard, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the prototype that we're going against as point guards, and that I think that's what led to the conversation that Steve Nash, KD, and Bron were having when they were like, hey, the 6'2" guard, if you're not a dog like Davion Mitchell, if you're not a savant offensively like Kyrie, it's hard in the league now. And I'm like, yo, yeah, the point guard position is getting taller. The league is getting taller. I don't mind it because I enjoy going in there with the Giants. You know that.
Yeah.
It's a cooler experience once you dominate that. But to close out this, it would just be looking at how I describe positionless basketball now that you just have to be skilled and talented in the NBA.
Correct.
Right? Especially in the finals, I think we saw that 5 guys all under 6'7" or 6'8" by the OKC Thunder, and they're all but they have Chet and Hartenstein coming off the
Right.
throw them in.
Yeah.
And Indiana, unfortunately, with Hallie, shout out to Hallie, praying that you get in recovery. All the guys that got injured. Yeah, all the guys that got injured this year, including myself, man. Prayers up to you guys and praying that your recovery is going well, man. Shout out to y'all.
For sure.
But yeah, Hallie's 6'6", 6'7".
Hallie's tall.
That's what I'm saying. That's becoming the.
What is Hallie? Is he fast?
Yeah, I would say Hallie is. He is what a lefty would be to a righty, meaning he does everything that seems awkward, but he gets away with it because you know, but he's strong right, but at the same time he has different tricks to his bag where he'll go right and then just step back and it's like, why did he step back right left instead of left right?
Correct.
And his shot pocket, he's able to shoot in different angles, so it's an appreciation. You know, it's an appreciation.
And I ran into the guy yesterday, and I'm gonna be on him. I'm gonna be on him. He might be one of the most talented ones in the league. He's proven it, but I feel like he has another level to go to.
Who?
LaMelo is crazy.
That's 6'6".
LaMelo is
6'7".
crazy.
He'll probably say 6'7".
He's tall.
Yes. These are the guys.
He's tall.
These are the guys.
Yeah.
Every team now has one of those guys where you're gonna have to be a PG shooting guard. And I'm like, okay, this era. Now that I was gonna say something on Twitter like, man,
no, we got another point guard coming in. I like him a lot.
Ooh.
Oh, I like him a lot. Dylan Harper.
That's what I'm saying. So
I like him a lot.
the guard play at this point for the next few years is about to be top notch.
Yeah.
Like you're going into a situation where now we also bring in VJ Edgecombe.
Yes, and he guarding.
That's what I'm saying. I played him in high school and I was like, okay, this young dude is a pro. He's a pro.
He guarding.
Yeah.
And he like guarding.
Yes. Loves it.
He loves it. He loves it.
These are guys. I'm grateful because our league is not only getting better, but the guys are so much more impressionable. I feel like in today's world because they want to absorb the information and they also want to ask us what is the most play.
Oh, Fears.
Yeah, no, that's one of my.
He's
favorite,
only 18 years
one
old.
of my favorite young players. Shout out to Fears.
He's only 18.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my goodness, Harrison, I'm with one of your favorite guys. We on live stream, by the way. I'm with Kai.
Oh my god.
Are you sitting right next to him?
Yeah,
Hello, Harrison.
we're on live.
Hello,
You say
Harrison.
what up. I'm one more question. I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Yes, sir. We got an important meeting.
Okay, no, go do your thing.
HB's a money guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But okay, you spoke about it.
Oh, that's my phone. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
You spoke about the influence we have culturally,
Just declining.
and it's never been captured for a reason, because it can't be captured. I think we saw some people move the market cap needle for some of the largest athletic apparel companies in the world. I'm not gonna say his name. He's a genius in his own right, but as we know, all of our geniuses, trying to do a lot of different things, love him to death, pray for him all the time. But like, he moved. When you talk about market cap, go look at market capitalizations for companies, for firms. Nvidia just first one at $4 trillion.
Wish I would have got an Nvidia 4 years ago.
No, I know.
5 years ago.
No. Even 2 years ago. I got a good friend that works at Nvidia. Shout out to Mustafa and Jocelyn Shakur. But we move market caps, and we should be compensated appropriately for the market caps that we move. Like, we don't just move like, you talk about moving the needle.
Yeah.
Like, we are the needle
Itself.
right.
Okay.
And so we can do it, but we got to do it together. And so I'm trying to put us in a position where we do more together and we can capture more of the value that we actually bring. And I think we're in a good place though. You know, I got to give love to Adam. It's been a really good working relationship. And I don't mind saying that because people always say like you shouldn't say that about the opposition. But I do feel like during CBA, during negotiations, there's time, you know, to negotiate and play hardball, and we may not like each other, but in those years between, it's a real partnership, and you know, I feel like they would like for it to be the same way, and you know, they want us to be held accountable for, you know, showing up to games every night, and we want to hold them accountable for, you know, how they perceive us in the game of basketball, how we're, you know, how we're really collaborating, how it's real partnership, and that's my next 5 years. Like we're gonna quantify our cultural influence.
Well, we actually have Adam Silver here.
I'm about to say, like, damn, he pulled up on you. He would though.
That's what I'm saying. We actually have Adam pulling up right now. He's coming.
He was just on 5 Club 520. He just did.
Oh, for real?
He just did.
Oh, Adam, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hey,
podcast. Shout out to 520. Love Jeff and them. And they buttoned up.
For sure.
Jeff and his guys buttoned up.
Are they out here activated?
No, this was
more recent.
This was at Michael Rubenstein Fanatics Fest. This was at Fanatics Fest.
Okay, cool.
And he pulled up. That was funny. That was funny. Them boys buttoned up. Them boys was buttoned up. Mr. Commissioner, how'd you get? It was funny. It was dope though.
I gotta watch.
They did a good job.
So you telling me that they buttoned up? So that's
yeah.
They weren't talking.
No, it wasn't too many. Ends.
Okay, shout out to 520. Changing up as soon as Adam Silver comes in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was dope though.
Okay.
It was dope.